shock drop series. So shock drops are all about controlling your center of gravity, absorbing force, and reapplying force. So in this shock drop series, you're going to grab a box. Make sure that box is about anywhere from your shin height to your knee height, okay, depending on how strong the athlete is. If you're just starting out, I want you guys to just start lower and get a feel for the box, okay? So you're going to step up onto that box, and then you're just going to step off of it, landing in power position. So wide base, low center, strong back, chest up. That's all we're doing. We're just taking our power position, our change of direction position that we use on the field, right? We keep our center of gravity low whenever we're trying to control the ball and defend the ball. So landing in that wide base, your feet are going to be underneath your hips. Your center of gravity is going to be low like a squat. Your chest is going to be back. And this is your defender position, right? So you're going to drop 5 times, just learning how to use gravity to your advantage, absorb that shock, and not fold your chest, right? When we land, we want to be a statue, and we don't want that gravity to fold us like a piece of paper. All right, so 5 shock drops. Then you're going to grab 2 dumbbells. You're going to do the same exact thing, just now you're a little bit weighted. So those dumbbells are going to bring you to the ground a little bit faster, still using gravity to our advantage, absorbing that impact and reapplying it up. So I'm going to add a vertical jump to this. As soon as your feet touch the ground, you are exploding into a jump as high as you can, and then landing back to the ground. Wide base, low center, strong back, chest up, okay? Again, not allowing those dumbbells to fold you like a piece of paper. You want to keep your chest up. I should be able to read what's on your shirt the whole entire movement, right? So then you're going to do 5 shock drops with dumbbells to a vertical jump, okay? And then our contrast shock drop to vertical jump. You're going to go 5 times. You're going to put those dumbbells away, step on the box, drop off the box like we have been doing, landing wide base, low center, strong back, chest up, and explode out of your hips as fast as you can, and then land quietly like a ninja, okay? You're going to go 5 times this on this one as well. Our contrast jump kind of tricks your body. Your body thinks it's going to have the weights, and it's going to have to perform this vertical jump with the same amount of force that it just performed. However, we got rid of that weight, and your body's going to still have the same output of force, and you should be feeling like you're floating in the air. Okay, it can be a little disorienting the first time you do it, because it's like, whoa, I got so high, or I floated in the air so long. But as you go higher in boxes and also heavier in weights, you see some great vertical gains. Lying barbell hip thrust. This is what we did at the training center together underneath the barbell. So you're going to load up your barbell or sandbag or whatever weight of choice. Okay. Start by sitting on the ground with your upper back against the ground. I definitely want you guys on the ground so your back is supported. Your knees should be bent, and your feet are going to be flat on the floor. I always say heels to your butt. That way, you're really being able to push through your heels and utilize your hamstrings. Place a padded barbell across your hips, ensuring that it's centered and comfortable. Engage your core muscles by contracting your abs, keeping that rib cage down, supporting your spine. And then drive force into the ground with your heels. Squeeze your glutes and push your hips with the barbell towards the ceiling. Focus on driving your hips upward by keeping your upper back and shoulders firmly planted on the ground. Squeeze your glutes at the top. As you lower your hips, just slowly lower your hips back to the ground in that starting position, and then explode into that next rep. Like, these should be explosive coming up with your hips to the ceiling, and then nice and controlled coming down. So right now I have you guys 3 sets of 8. And what I like to do for endurance and added stability is you'll crank out 8 reps and then try to hold for 8 seconds at the top. Okay. If you only get 6 reps, maybe the next time, then you try to hold for 6 at the top. That isometric hold just helps you to gain that core strength, that stability, and that endurance in your glutes. Next, we have a reverse deadlift. The reverse deadlift or Romanian deadlift is a strength exercise that primarily targets your hamstrings, your glutes, and your lower back. Stand upright with your feet shoulder width apart and a slight bend in your knees. You don't want to lock them out. Hold the barbell or dumbbells in front of you, touching your thighs with an overhand grip, palms facing to your body. Your arms should be fully extended and the weight should hang straight down. Before you begin this hinging movement, engage your core, take a deep breath, and tighten your abdominal muscles. It helps to stabilize the spine and protect your lower back. Squeeze your glutes to, again, protect your lower back. Keeping your back straight and your chest up, hinge your hips slowly, lowering the weight down your thighs. Imagine pushing your hips back as if you were closing the door behind you with your butt. Allow your knees to bend slightly as you lower the weights, but avoid bending them too much. This movement, you want to keep your knees parallel to your heels, not knees over your toes, like the squat we did prior to, right? So squats is knees over toes. Hinging is for your hammies are going to be those knees over your heels. Keeping that back straight and your chest up, we hinge at the hips and slowly lower those weights to the ground. As you lower the weights and feel your stretch in your hamstrings, lower the weights until you feel that comfortable stretch, but be careful not to go too low or you're going to get that round in your back. I always say don't look like a turtle because we're trying to get fast and strong, not slow and round. Joke. Okay, so throughout the movement, keep those weights close to your body and maintain a slight bend in those knees. Your back should remain flat, parallel to the ground at the bottom of the movement, and your head should be in line with your spine. Once you feel that stretch in your hamstrings, engage your hammies in your glutes and squeeze your glutes to reverse the movement and bring your hips forward, returning to that starting position. I like to make sure that the descent is nice, slow, and controlled, and the ascent is explosive, exploding through your hips, fully engaging the muscles in your posterior chain, right? So you're going to do 3 sets of 8 on this movement. And then you'll start to get stronger and stronger and stronger. Then I would recommend going like an 8-5-5 if you're really going for 135 or a heavier weight. Hang clean. Stand with your feet about hip width apart. Underneath your hip sockets is where your feet should be. Holding a barbell with an overhand grip, palms facing your body. The barbell should be resting at thigh level, hanging just above your knees. Arms should be fully extended and your back should be straight. Keep your core nice and tight. Begin by bending your knees slightly and hinge forward at your hips, keeping your back straight and your chest up. Imagine performing a half of a squat. Allow the barbell to move down towards the ground, sliding down your thighs. In one fluid motion, extend your hips and knees explosively towards the bar, driving the barbell upward as you shrug. When you do this, you're shrugging your shoulders to your ears and pulling the barbell up towards your shoulders, keeping it close to your body. And then once the barbell reaches chest level, you quickly drop underneath it and rotate your elbows forward, engaging your lats. Catch the barbell on the front of your shoulders, not your collarbones, with your elbows pointing forward and your hands gripping the barbell. Those elbows should be all the way up, kind of like a front squat. Once you've caught the barbell in that front squat position, you can immediately descend into a front squat by bending your knees and your hips, keeping your chest up, back strong, and lowering your center of gravity. When you stand up, Drive through your heels and extend your hips and knees to stand up and out of that squat position. Be explosive coming out of your hips. So once you return to standing position with the barbell racked on your shoulders, you'll just slowly lower that bar towards your quads again, and then repeat. Hang clean is meant to increase dynamic and powerful power through your hips. Sorry about that. And targets the muscles of the lower body, including the quads, hams, glutes, calves, as well as your upper body, including your shoulders, your traps, your forearms, and your lats. This is to help on your explosive power through your hips. So again, running real quick through it. Whenever you complete a hang clean, you start with your feet directly underneath your hips. When you explode out of your hips and catch the bar, your feet will be on the outside of your hips. Not crazy wide, okay? Because we don't want to lose our center of gravity. We want to maintain control of the catch of the bar. So if you're too wide, then you could potentially fall forward, fall backwards. So we want to stay in control of any weight we have 100% of the time. So starting with those feet underneath your body and then landing with those feet kind of in our power position, but not like a sumo squat, not extended, okay? Isometric lunge hold. This movement includes your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, your calves, and your core for stability. It's a static lunge hold, so no movement, just holding and keeping everything tight. Grab your dumbbells. Begin by standing with your feet hip width apart. Take a big step back with one foot landing on the ball of your foot. Your front knee should be bent at a 90-degree angle, positioned directly above your ankle. Your back knee should be bent at roughly a 90-degree angle as well. Make sure your shin is parallel to the ground. Once you've reached the bottom of that lunge position, hold it there isometrically. This means you're not moving, but rather maintaining control, stability in that movement. Engage your core muscles. Keep those abs nice and tight. Roll your shoulder blades back, pinch your penny in between your shoulder blades. That way you lat load with the weights. Keep everything tight. Make sure your front knee stays aligned with your ankle. It can pass your ankle, so it can shift forward as you start to get stronger and want to strengthen the ligaments in your knees. Focus on your breathing because 30 seconds can seem like a very long time. Once you hit that 30 seconds, you can slowly come out of that lunge and then switch legs. 30 seconds, 3 sets. Bulgarian split squat. Stand facing away from a bench or a box, about 2 feet in front of it. Reach 1 foot back and place the top of your foot on the bench, ensuring your toes are pointed down and your foot is stable. Your front foot should be planted firmly on the ground, about hip width apart. Keep your torso upright, your chest lifted, and your shoulders relaxed. Engage your core muscles by gently contracting your abs. Slowly bend your front knee and lower your body towards the ground, focusing on keeping your front knee aligned with your pinky toe, so driving your knee towards your pinky toe and contracting the same direction as your toes. Your back knee should be bent as well, lowering towards the ground. As you lower your center of gravity, your front thigh is parallel to the ground or as far down as you comfortably can go while maintaining proper form. I would like to see a 45-degree shin angle in your forward leg. Keep your back straight. Avoid leaning or folding. Keep those dumbbells behind your body, so roll those shoulder blades back, pinch that penny in between your shoulder blades. That way your dumbbells become an extension of you as you lower your center of gravity and drive through the ground to start back up at the starting position. Make sure that box is stable, so it's not going to slide out from underneath you whenever you push forward or push back up. Start with light weights or no weight at all until you feel comfortable with the movement. Listen to your body and stop if you experience any pain or discomfort. Bulgarian split squats are a progressed movement, so you can absolutely start on the ground. We did this movement at camp. So if you just want to grab a pad to put underneath your knee and just secure your back foot on the ground and extend your hip, producing force into the ground with that forward leg. From the ground, that's perfectly okay. The main focus is your split squat, getting that thigh separation and producing force through your forward leg, stabilizing with your back leg. Lying floor press is a variation of the traditional bench press. It's just you're laying flat on the floor or on a flat surface to maintain control of your back and load your scapulas when you're pressing. So we lie flat on your back on the floor with your knees bent and your feet flat on the ground, driving your heels into the ground. Your head, upper back, butt should all be in contact with the floor. Hold a pair of dumbbells or a barbell with an overhand grip, palms facing away from you, directly above your chest. Your arms should be fully extended and the weights should be positioned directly over your shoulders. Slowly lower the weights towards your chest by bending your elbows. Keep your elbows close to your body, though, throughout the movement. Lower the weights until your upper arms are parallel to the ground or until your elbows slightly touch the floor. Pause briefly at the bottom of the movement, feeling a stretch in your chest muscles, and ensure that your elbows don't rest heavily on the floor to maintain tension in your pecs. Press the weights back up to the starting position by extending your elbows and pushing the weights towards the ceiling. Exhale as you push the weights up. Fully extend your arms at the top of the movement, but avoid locking out your elbows completely to keep tension on your muscles. Repeat that. Let's see, how much do I have you guys to this week? So the first set, we're going to go 10 to really kind of warm it up, get acquainted with the movement. Then we're going to go 8, then we're going to go 8. If you don't want to count your first 10 as a rep, then go 3 sets of 8. And then we're going to progress it through throughout the weeks. Reverse grip front raise. Begin by standing upright with your feet hip width apart. Imagine you're in a comfortable balanced stance with your arms hanging naturally by your side. Hold a dumbbell or weight of choice in each hand with an underhand palms up grip. Imagine your palms are facing upward and the dumbbells are resting on your thigh. Tighten your core muscles by pulling the belly button in towards your spine. Imagine bracing your abdomen muscles to support your spine during the exercise. In a controlled manner, lift both dumbbells simultaneously, forward and upward until they reach shoulder height. Imagine you're raising your arms straight out in front of you. Keep your arms extended and your palms facing upward throughout the entire motion. Hold the raised portion for a moment to feel the contraction in your shoulder muscles. Gently lower both dumbbells back to the starting position with your arms fully extended by your side and your palms facing upward. Perform the reverse grip front raise motion with the dumbbells or desired weight for about 10 to 15 reps. Medicine ball jump slam. Stand with your feet about shoulder width apart, holding a medicine ball in your hands in front of your upper body. The medicine ball is a heavy weighted ball that you can hold with control. Before you begin this movement, engage your core muscles. Bend your knees slightly and lower your body into that squat position, keeping your back straight and your chest up. Hold the medicine ball in front of you as you lower down. Then explosively jump up from that squat position using the power of your legs to propel yourself upwards and full hip extension, knee extension, ankle extension. As you jump, extend your arms overhead and lift the medicine ball with you. At the peak of your jump, forcefully slam the medicine ball down to the ground in front of you. Imagine you're trying to throw the ball into the ground as hard as you can and break the floor underneath you. As the ball rebounds off the ground, you can catch it with both hands, but that's not required. You can absolutely pick it back up and repeat the movement once again. Think of it as like a Hulk smash. You're just trying to explode up off the ground and with force through your hips and slam that ball into the ground as hard as you can.